Hello, everyone. Okay, so, I know the Plus Chef skin came out today, but I was not able to stream because we had a lot more things to worry about today. You probably seen my, uh, puppies. You probably seen my most recent video that I posted, and it was about the snow that we got. We were expected to get 1 to 3 inches of rain, and 4 to 8 inches of snow in the same day. Um, a flash freeze, which is basically when temperatures drop really, really rapidly, and things freeze really fast, was expected, but we have, I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen a flash freeze. I've seen temperatures drop fast, or not really fast, but pretty quickly, but never like a genuine flash freeze with snow. But, here, hold on. I'm gonna just stop for a minute, okay? So let me tell you what I went down today. So my family on my dad's side, Kobe, chill out, please. My dad's side of the family, they all celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. I went to one house, earlier today from about 12 to 3:30, and then, well, it was pouring the rain the whole time that we were up there. I mean, it was just pouring the rain, sheets of rain. Kobe, I know, quit. And the temperature at the time was 53, I do believe. Kobe, stop it, please. The temperature at the time was about 53, and so after we got done with one place, we just hung out there for a while, and probably stayed until about 5, or no, about 4:30, and then we left to go get my dad and mom. My grandparents took me up there. Then we went to get my dad and mom, which is in a different town, and then we went on to our second place. Mind you, this is deep in a holler. What does that mean? It means a lot of back roads, and you're basically in a hole. Like, it just goes down, and there's mountains all around you. It's kind of like a valley. Kind of like a valley, but with a lot more mountains. And we were basically as deep as you can get into there. And we knew if it snowed like six inches or something, that we more than likely wouldn't be able to get out of there, and then we would probably have to have some help with other people if we did want to even try to get out of there. Because again, there's a lot of back roads, and these do not ever hardly even get touched. I mean, we're lucky if they get touched like 2-3 times a year. I'm not joking, like literally 2 to 3 times every winter. Like, I'm not joking, I'm dead serious. They just don't bother to come back in there. There's no service down in here. My great-grandmother, which is where we were at her house, she does have Wi-Fi, so that's how I was able to upload. Yesterday, I was there for 9 hours straight, and I had to upload with horrible Wi-Fi, and the picture that I accidentally showed of the Christmas tree that I didn't mean to was there in the Angry Birds Epic video. And the snow video today was also there. So we get down there, and we get out, it's pouring the rain, it's a muddy mess. My LeBron's got all dirty and messed up and wet and soggy. It wasn't too terrible, though. They didn't get inside my socks or nothing. And we just expected it to be not too terrible. Just rain, and then it transitions over to snow. Snow drops about an inch or so, and then we get out of there, and then it just and then it keeps on snowing, which was the plan. That didn't work. That didn't even get close to working. Kobe, please just wait a second, okay? Just wait a second, please. Okay. So, and then a couple of my cousins, they apparently got stuck. Kobe, stop, down. Crazy dog. They apparently got stuck on one of the hills to get out, and they couldn't go anywhere else. They were stuck. So then we were like, oh, okay, this is a bit crazy. Um, this was before this. We were going to go a little further deep in, literally as far as you can go into there, as deep as you can possibly go. You go up a hill and then it's just straight. It's just a rock road. It is horrible. We barely got up there in 4-wheel drive with a Jeep, with it just raining. It was bad. So we got her loaded up. It's my great grandmother's sister. We got her in the car with us and took her back down. And there, it's a 2 minute. It's about a 1.5 minute difference from where their places are. So you could easily walk there if you wanted to. Picked her up, loaded her down, got her out to the mess, and it was fine. When we left to go get her, it started icing and sleeting. Um, when we first arrived down there, when we first just arrived at my great grandmother's house, all in all, it was just pouring the rain. But then it started to mix over to sleet a little bit, and I mean it wasn't that bad, but you could just feel it getting a little ice pellets. You could barely feel it. The temperature was 45. Yeah, it was 45. Stop biting my fingers. Temperature was about 45, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and then when we left to go get my great grandmother's sister, it was 36. So that was the flash freeze. It happened a lot earlier than we expected. Happened at about 6:30, or no, not 6:30. Happened at about 5:45, and it was expected to happen at about 8. That was, I didn't think about it at the time because I forgot about it. I forgot about the flash freeze entirely. I didn't think it was a big thing, but it ended up being very crucial in the end. It's a little storytelling session. I hope you guys enjoy. By now. So we picked her up, got her down there, and we all sat in the house and we're starting to eat our Christmas dinner. It was decent. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Or from what I heard, I didn't eat too much. So I look out. Also, before we started eating, the ice was starting to accumulate on the ground a little bit. Not much, but you could just see it on the ground a little bit. Fast forward to about 15 minutes after we started eating, I look outside and it has officially transitioned over to all snow. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is weird. So it's probably about 35, 34 by now. I don't know because there's not a thermometer. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it'll start snowing now and it won't start sticking till later. Wrong. Fast forward another 30 minutes. I look outside and there's probably about an inch of snow on the ground. Or probably about an inch, 3/4 of an inch. And I'm like, oh, what? So the temperature dropped again down to at least 30, down to at the most 32, because it has to be 32 to stick to the ground. And from what I heard, it was sticking to the concrete as well, the road. We weren't told this, or we might have been, but we weren't, I guess we weren't paying attention. Because I think somebody went up there and checked, and apparently it was starting to stick to the road a little bit. Which, I mean, again, it was pouring the rain before, so the ground was already wet and cold enough for it to stick. So then I'm not too worried about it. It's still snowing pretty hard. It's just pouring snow. Fast forward another 15 minutes. I look outside and it's easily an inch of snow on the ground, if not a little bit more. And I'm like, oh man, this stuff is really coming down fast. It's about an inch per hour, which is a lot for around here. We never get that much. About 3 to 5 inches were expected for where we were. It was all supposed to be after like 9, 10 o'clock. Callie, get down. And at this time, it was about 6 o'clock, 6:30. So then we're done eating, and like I look back outside, and it's probably about 2 inches of snow on the ground. This was about 30 minutes from when I previously checked, and I'm like, man, it's really coming down outside. We're gonna have a white Christmas. This is pretty awesome. It was still continuing to pour the snow. You couldn't see it on. We had like those laser lights outside, like shining on the house, and you couldn't see it because the snow was. I guess the snow was literally blocking any light from getting through, which we didn't know at the time. So it was snowing that hard where it was blocking those, and So eventually we get to where we um are going to take my great grandmother's sister back home, and this is where it gets bad. I'm sorry. This is taking a lot longer to explain than I thought. Hey, 10 minutes? I mean, come on. So we try to take her back up the hill, which again, keep in mind you, we barely got up it. We slid a little bit with no snow. And I was like, are we gonna be able to get up this thing or not? No, we didn't even get close. We got a little bit up the hill, about 5 feet up the hill, and it just started spinning out of control. Like it was like the car was horizontal, basically. Almost when I got out and started recording the video that was uploaded to my channel, and you seen it all. They were spinning. I went to get in to get help, and I was like, and that's when it hits me. I'm like, oh, we might not get out of here. This could be bad. Um, so I go in and tell my dad. And my grandmother was taking her back, so I go in to tell my dad and mom, who were getting a TV set up for my great grandmother, because that we hit it. We surprised her with that as a present. I went in and told my dad. I'm like, hey, they're stuck out there. And at the time, this is going to be an important detail in the future. At the time, a couple other people were leaving, and so I'm like, hey, they got stuck out there. We might need my uncle's blazer to my granduncle, I guess you would say. We're gonna need his blazer to pull it out, to pull the car out, and get him up the hill, get her home. And so they're like, yeah, okay. And they kept on going back to getting the TV, and I'm like, okay, sure, I guess they're gonna get on that. And then about 15 minutes later, they were still in there, and they came in and told me. My mom was like, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean what happened? They got stuck. And she was like, who got stuck? And I'm like, my mama and my great grandmother's sister. And she's like, oh, I thought you meant the people that left before. And I'm like, no, I meant them. So me and my dad went up there, checked on them. They managed to back out and get back over there. And then we realized that we had to get out of there because the snow is still pouring down. Another 1 to 3 inches is expected. And we have to get out of there now, or else we are not going to get out of there. And so this takes about 30 minutes. There's still probably another ½ inch of snow on the ground from what it was before. About 2.5 inches on the ground by now, maybe 3. So then we get everything done. We get all our stuff, and we start to head out. We got out of we went up the hill. No, this isn't the same hill that my great grandmother's sister is. That's another hill. We went up the hill to go out onto the road, and we got out of there perfectly fine. We got out of there fine. We did slide a little bit, but we got out of there fine. And then we forgot the concrete. Oh my god. So this was probably the fastest I've ever seen snow accumulate on a road before in my life. It was completely covered. The only tracks there were from the people that previously left before us, and we had to follow them. We were going 10 miles an hour the whole time. It was horrible. This was a back road though, like a secondary road, so it's expected to not get cleared again 2 to 3 times per winter if we're lucky. So we get out of there. We get out of there fine. My mom did good driving, about 10 miles an hour again the whole way, and we didn't slide. Everything was white. Everything completely covered. I got some pictures that I will put here. Yeah, that's the road when we were going out of there. So emphasis for that. So yeah, it was pretty bad. If you were on Discord, you seen my updates the whole time. But we get out of the secondary road pretty fine. We think, oh no, the main road. This isn't really a main road. It's not a secondary road, but it's a rather important road. It connects a town to another town, so it's decently important. We're thinking, oh yeah, this one's gonna be clear. No, it's just the same as the other one. And the thing is, instead of going like out, we're going like to the right, towards where the snow was, like against the snow, Like we were going this way, and the snow was blowing this way. So the snow was blowing into the headlights, and we couldn't hardly see anything. The visibility was less than a tenth of a mile, if even that. It was a whiteout. The roads were completely covered, and we had to cancel our Chinese food plans because we just could not get past. I guarantee, if we would have gotten seriously hurt if we would have even tried to go where we wanted to go to get our Chinese food. Didn't even try it. We didn't worry about it. That's for another day. So we keep going on the road. Again, this is about 15 miles an hour to this point. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. Snow still blowing right in our face. Can't hardly see a thing. We get out of there, fine. And then we get onto another road that's basically a main road. It's a turn off from a 4 lane, so it should be clear. No. 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 It is. This one was worse. Probably the worst one. We had to go up a bunch of hills to take my grandmother home and then go back to our house. For emphasis, we were in this town. We had to go up, left, and then make like another. We had to go up, left, for a while, and then make a few more turns that are little. And our town is back here where we started at, where we live at, around there. So that's emphasis. We had to go completely all the way back. We slid basically and nearly crashed. Very easily could have. This was at a red light. We almost wiped out. It was almost really bad, but we did not. We got up those hills barely. Stopped at the gas station and just took it all in. It was pouring the snow all around us. A flash freeze. The ground froze so fast. Everything was covered in snow. About 3 to 4 inches of snow easily. It was incredible. Then we go to drop my grandmother off. Open presents there. Go back. The roads are finally good. Even the 4 lanes were covered with snow. Even the 4 lanes. Yeah, it was that. The snow was accumulating that rapidly and that fast. They couldn't even uncover the 4 lanes properly. It was insanity. We go back out after my grandmother's house, head back home, and we get back home perfectly fine. Now let me try and show you the snow that's on the ground outside right now. Let's see. You might not be able to see this, but let's see. Can you see that outside? I don't know if you can or not, but hoping that you can. I don't know if you can see that or not out there. I don't think you can, but there's about 4 to 5 inches of snow on the ground at our house. My foot was entirely deep in the snow, which you'll see here. But yeah, no, you might not see it there. Never mind, because I forgot to take a picture. But it is insane. I was worried there for a minute, guys, but I had to make this update to you guys because I was worried there. But everyone, have a Merry Christmas. I hope you get everything you want on your list, and I hope you enjoyed this last week of 2020, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.